Well, hello there, Alexandra, or Alex, as I learned today, Edl. I'm so glad and honored to speak to you.
Same here. Thank you, Angie, for having me.
That's, probably the shortest lengths of meeting somebody and having them on the Red Couch Talk since the start of this thing here, which, I think we started about 3 years ago. We met at what we Swiss people call an apéro, not to be muddled up with the drink, after a very interesting event organized by Sandra Steller-Triebel's organization. And we stood at the same table thinking about how can we help each other because we do something quite similar, but here we are
Now we meet and to see what happens. I'm
and get to know
excited.
each other better. So Alex, tell us a little bit of a fun fact, something that maybe is not findable when, I enter your name into Google right now.
Yeah, good question. So what of the fun things I want to share here?
Yeah, that's another thing. And you feel free to share something really embarrassing about you. That's what
No.
most people do.
I love preparing food and I'm a vegan. However, my family is not. So I'm probably one of the vegans that is fine preparing meat and fish-based food. And it should look always nice. So I want to have also a nice dish on the table for everyone. So often it happens that my family, we have two children, that I cook three different dishes a night.
Oh,
But I love doing that. That's maybe besides my job, some kind of a relaxation type of thing that I do. Besides running in the early mornings. I don't
mhm.
know if that's fun for you, but I love running when the sun goes up, and everyone else is still asleep. So I'm an early wake up person.
Beautiful. Also wake up early, but I don't go running uh, at that time.
We won't meet in the forest or at the lakes.
Probably not. Also, you live somewhere in St. Gallen, Schmerikon. I don't even really know where that is, but that's okay. Switzerland has a lot of places. Yeah. So what about, I mean, the cooking is already very interesting. I think it shows your dedication to your family, nutrition, being healthy. What about your why? I know that you started your own consulting business in HR already over 10 years
Years
ago.
ago. Yeah.
Quite young, I would say, for my taste. I was like, wow, she must have been really like entrepreneurial, to do that, to take that risk. So what drove you to starting your own business? What's your why?
Yeah. Good question. And it would be nice to have a good answer on that. I would say I just stumbled into it. It just
Uh-huh.
happened. Maybe it was supposed to be. I was myself employed as a head of HR at a B2B tech startup back
Uh-huh.
then.
Uh-huh.
Before that, I was 6 years working in the corporate roles, rather finance, project management, product development roles. But I've always been a team leader or department lead. And at the same time, I experienced bad leadership
Uh-huh.
around me.
Uh-huh.
And somehow it happened that I started a systemic coaching degree. And with that, people came and asked if I could help them in their organizations, either HR professionals or founders or managers asking me, can I help just on an hourly basis, helping them out on recruiting or HR topics? So then somehow it happened. I said, okay, then I will start my own business in parallel to my employment. And this grew big very fast. So I stopped my employment. I put everything, all of my capacities on my own company, Edl Consulting. And that was more or less exactly 10 years ago. And we grew very, very fast, especially during COVID,
Mhm.
as we supported B2B tech startups in finding the right talents, which was needed during that time while everyone else was downsizing. And yeah, now we are a big HR consultancy supporting European companies in all HR topics, interim mandates, recruiting, active search, HR process and structures, HR digitalization, coaching, mediation, trainings. So everything that lands on the table of a head of HR, that landed on my table as a head of HR, we can help and take either in project setups or on an hourly fee basis. So we are the firefighters when it comes to HR challenges, I would say.
That sounds amazing, honestly. I mean, I admired you already when you told me, but I feel even more respect for you right now. And I'm really interested in clarifying something. Now, many moons ago, I was also trained to be a systemic consultant. Luckily, I had an employer, who understood the concept and said, we want all of our HR professionals to go through that training. And I think that was rather innovative. It was like in the early 2000s. But many people, when I told them I'm a systemic consultant, what they think I'm saying is systematic. And I'm coming back to the apero topic because I really think I need to explain this again and again. Apero has nothing to do with the drink Aperol Spritz.
Yes.
A lot of people muddle that up. And the same with the systemic and systematic. It's two different words. Would you mind, because we like to go deep here, to explain in like lay terms what the systemic means, where it comes from, how you apply it in building HR and building B2, like if you build, help startups build their own like background structure, how does it help you to do that?
Yes. Systemic, I would say, we as human beings, we are around other people. We have different roles. We have in private life, we have maybe a mother role, sister role, a partner role, etc. And in professional lives, we have also different roles, even though you might just have one job, but you have different functions. And as a systemic coach, when you coach an individual or a team, you always look into, okay, what is this individual or the team doing? And how are the connections to other systems, private systems, team systems, organizational systems? And what is influencing me as an individual or us as a team? So the reason of a challenge might not be so easy to understand without looking into the more complex system of human beings or system of life, I would say, either in a professional setup or in a private setup, or often it's mixed as we bring in from private into professional lives, a lot of things that then maybe come up in terms of challenges. So as a systemic coach, you are trained to look exactly beyond that, let's say the easy or the easy way or the primarily reason that it might have, but you rather dig deeper and try to understand, okay, how has this person been influenced by other influencing factors, either from childhood or from other currently active systems, I would say.
That's amazing. Very well explained. And how do you apply it in like the small or the medium-sized or the startups that you're supporting? How do you apply the systemic part?
Yeah.
If that is not too like, business sharing secrets, you can keep it.
It's funny that you asked that because you also mentioned you have been paid, your employer helped you to become a systemic coach. I decided myself privately, so I did that. I paid it myself.
Yep.
I did it in parallel to my job. I tried to find the time. I used my vacation times to do the trainings because I studied business administration, and even though during my business studies, I always thought my psychology would have been the better option. So I always regret my decision. In the end, I don't regret, obviously, but I found a way to get my, let's say, psychological know-how into a practical handling through my systemic coaching degree. However, I do not work as a systemic coach per se, but everything I do, I would say I use the tools, the methods, and the doing and thinking of a systemic coach. And in the end, I would say that makes us or me successful as it is. Every time I talk to someone, you can use elements of from your systemic coaching degree just by asking the right questions or paraphrasing, making the other person feel understood, or just zooming out and understanding like, what are we actually talking? What's the topic around? Where's the challenge? Where's the problem? What do we need to do next? So when we talk to our clients or help our clients, we use that approach, trying to understand, okay, what is the problem that you bring on the table and what do I think are the influencing factors? So we look into the organization as a system, into the individual or the team setup, and trying to dig deeper and ask questions in order to really understand the challenge and then solve it sustainably, not only superficially. So what we help our clients is really finding a solution that also is a solution in tomorrow and the day after.
I think I just love everything you said. By the way, my story is very similar. It's just 10 years before. I'm just 10 years older than you. I also studied international business, and now, I'm doing deep psychology through the Eric Berne Institute. I get more and more into psychology, but it was basically too late to start another course in psychology, at like 45. But I wanna come back to something about something you mentioned about finding talent and consulting companies on finding talent, because it's the big discussion right now, I think, in Switzerland. On the one hand, we hear, especially in the German speaking world, we hear a lot about, oh, we can't find the right talent. I can't find anyone who wants to work for me. And then on the other hand, I coach all the expats who can't find a job. And, I mentioned on LinkedIn last week, some of my clients, they would prefer to work for free instead of sitting at home, not having to do anything like relevant for their brain. Because we're talking about, people that have like a master's degree at least, and also really good experience, etc. How do you judge the situation with regards to the so-called war for talent? And do you see like any differences, for example, you work a lot in Germany too, between Germany and Switzerland right now? What is your take on the market?
Yeah, good question. Here in Switzerland, I think the job market works still quite well. The companies can just post a job and people apply, and there's mostly someone that brings the relevant skills in and is hired. That works quite easily, at least from my perspective. When it comes to the war for talent, then we talk about very specific skill requirements, really deep technical knowledge or experience needed, often combined with two limiting factors. Either that person needs to work in that city or that location, so the person will need to move or relocate. This often good people are not willing to do. And second, salary or compensation limitations. So maybe the company is not willing to pay that amount of salary that the expert is asking, or the talent is asking for. And then often you need to become creative in finding either a solution for the case on the table, or you need to be creative to find the right person in the region within the salary or compensation limits. Or maybe as a company, you then need to limit or lower your expectation when it comes to experience or skills already, and need to move more into the onboarding and enablement of that person. In Germany, however, we see due to the economic situation, it's quite worse because there's not a lot of companies hiring. All the big ones stopped hiring, or actually having people leave, making them leave rather than hiring. Here we also see that let's say the salary expectations from candidates are lowering. When a company is hiring someone, then there's a lot of applications coming in, and the company can pick and choose whoever is the perfect candidate. So this makes it difficult for people to find a new job because there's so much competition in the market, and not so many big jobs free. And we see also a trend in less remote, less hybrid, more office work again. And in Switzerland, this is big time here. I don't know any company that has a remote only culture anymore, and hybrid is also not, so home office is not really seen nicely here. So companies rather have people 5 days a week in the office. In Germany, there's still more pressure from the talent saying, no, we want to keep our freedom and flexibility in working from home. So here, Switzerland is already more back to the office work. And that makes it difficult for talents that are really, really good and can ask for their criteria that they want to work for.
Yeah, I think I always have the feeling Switzerland is a bit more aligned with the US. So as soon as the US does something, Switzerland follows right away. Germany is lagging a little bit behind. But on the other hand, there's also the economic situation, which plays in quite heavily at the moment, because about 2 years ago, the job market in Germany was so tough. I mean, for the employers, it was hard to find someone in the first, like people, there were just no candidates, and then it quickly turned around last year. I have
It's still not solved in Germany either.
yeah,
So certain industries and regions, it's still difficult to find some blue collar. So
yeah,
any, let's say, non-academic workers is still difficult to find in
yeah,
certain regions enough
yeah,
talent.
yeah,
And this is where we come in often with active search. We just find the talents at the competitors and trying to pull them out there and
yeah, yeah,
giving them our clients. This is just
yeah,
the classic way then in
yeah.
finding the right experts that are not free on the
My
market.
solution would obviously be, international hires from
Yeah,
other
but
countries.
then we
I
have,
know there's challenges involved as well.
yeah, it's language, the language. If they need fluent German or any other language spoken, then it's difficult to have the expat situation. And yeah, the legal process, not a lot of employers want to go through that
Yeah.
time.
But I think it will become more, but we will see. We will see that.
Yeah.
Thanks for being so open about, some technical stuff. I'm always very curious, and I just wanted to ask you a few questions on how you work as well, because I'm just really interested in what you do. Now, when you think about your entrepreneurial journey, and somebody, who's like you, again, 10, 20 years younger, what would you say to them? Some, a tip or a few tips that you would like to share with a younger version of you?
Yeah, good question. Maybe there's two things that have been also key for me. It's first, you need to work as employed in that role or sphere that you want to become self-employed or build
Yeah,
your own company. That helps just to learn in the easy way, but also to build your network
yeah,
and to gain credibility for your future clients, that you know what you're talking about, that you've
yeah,
seen a little bit. So one or two, maybe even more roles, for example, as an HR manager, recruiter, or similar, would be really, really good. And build up your network from day one, not only within the company that you work, but also for similar people in similar roles in other companies. Try to event meetups, any kind of events, fairs, etc., conferences. Use LinkedIn or other business tools to connect with like-minded people. And the second is, once you are then starting your own business, maybe do that in parallel to be on the safe side. But if you're brave enough to start full-time your own business, then be flexible in the beginning. People always told me, just be focused in your offering and just don't offer everything, but focus on one thing. And I said, no, I don't want to focus on one thing. I like to offer everything because we can do everything. And our clients also need the variety. And it helped us also during down cycles like COVID
yeah,
or
yeah,
or now the economic situation in the EU. It helps us to be flexible because we always help what is needed in the market. And I wanted to say, be flexible also when it comes to jobs that are offered to you. Just do it. If you have the capacity in terms of timing, just do it. You will gain insights and experience, and you collect references, and you can, again, broaden your network and build relationships with the people you work. The best clients for us are the ones that are coming over and over again because they like working with us as human beings. And of course, you need to also be somehow successful with what you offer them, obviously. But if they like working with you, they will come and ask you over and over again for your help.
yeah,
And we have even clients that moved employers and asked us in their new role again and ask us to join and support them again. So if you build good relationships, that is always key and will bring you a long way.
I love that. I love that. And as you know, probably already about me, I'm a big believer in building professional relationships and also long-term relationships. So some of my referrals now come from people I've worked with 8 years ago, 9 years ago, or, I coached their spouse. So that's actually amazing, and also some of my longest contacts, they have become clients later on. So what is your secret to networking?
Ooh, good question.
If you
Is
want
there
to
a
share, please.
secret? Be open, be curious,
Uh-huh.
ask questions, go and meet people in person or virtually if not possible. And yeah, talk to the people, be open and curious. I don't know if someone can actually learn being a good networker. I don't know if this is something a personality needs to bring, but I guess some of the things you can do, just be open, approach people, go and approach them and talk to them.
Yeah.
Just
And
don't
guess,
wait for others to come and ask you a question or meet you.
Yeah, and I guess, the first thing, Alex, you and I, we met because we were at an event.
Yes.
So, like even that for some people seems to be an eye opener. Oh, I actually have to go to an event to meet people. I cannot just sit and, write to people on LinkedIn.
Yeah. And I'm a mother of young children, and I know a lot of events happen in evenings.
Yeah.
But still, people, how to make it possible. It's one event in a quarter or one event in a month. It's feasible to organize. Just do it. It's an investment in your personal happiness, but also, of course, in your professional network.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't always have to be the huge events. You can also go to a lunch and learn session, or like there's a group now, Hello 50/50. I saw they offer things in the morning. I can't go there because I work. But yeah, I mean, that's perfect for networking. Like 8:30 or something in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, and test it. I mean, if you make it possible, meet them once in the morning and you see, is this a group of people you feel comfortable with, or is there something you see in it and you might want to invest more time and make it possible, even though you think you're working at that time or etc. But test it, and not every setup and not every network is the perfect one for you. But be curious and open, and just go there once and ask yourself: was it worth it? Should I redo it? Would I do it again? And if so, just invest the time. It's a good investment.
Superb. With all your knowledge and your background, I need your professional opinion, okay? So we have I'm a teacher lecturer in the GlobalMobility master course in Holland, and also in a few more courses one in Switzerland, one in France. And I always think, global mobility managers are usually a little bit narrow focused. There's sometimes HR professionals. I wish to see more recruiters in those courses, but let's say we are mainly like talking to people that come from the HR background. Payroll, maybe consulting. But let me just see, what is your view? If you look at, you've also moved from one country to another, I think you studied abroad as well, if I remember correctly.
I studied abroad, I worked abroad, but Edl Consulting was founded in Germany, and 4 years ago we moved to Switzerland.
But you have also, you lived in other countries, been through a culture shock, know what I'm talking about. But what is your take on this? What do you think in those courses HR professionals, recruiters, global mobility managers should understand better or more of, if you think about it? Maybe from your practice, something that you would like to pitch here.
Yeah, ideally, these people would be expats themselves, would work abroad once, at least for a short period of time. I did start in a trainee program where I worked 3 months in Paris. Just experiencing the whole process from, let's say, talent or employee perspective would help to switch sides and then maybe want to do it better or perfectly for the expert you are dealing with. Ideally, I would say they should learn 2 things. First is how to build good relationships and be in communication with the people you deal with. So be proactive, contact them regularly, directly via phone, or schedule a video call. Just make them feel that you're there for them. And how to do that? To just call them up, ask how they're doing. Is there anything that they're struggling with? Can you help them with something or recommend them as a solution, etc.? So I think that would be something on communication and relationship building. And the second thing would probably be thinking solutions. So probably there's a challenge. Often there's not only one option to solve that, but offer them a variety of solutions. Be creative, finding ways of solving things, and you will learn by that, because the next time a similar solution comes up, you just pull out your previous template or email and say, okay, look, last time we solved it that way, and this have been the advantages and disadvantages.
Yes.
So maybe thinking in really options and solutions,
Yes.
documenting it well so you can recycle.
Yeah. Now, Alex, that's a fantastic point. I'm not sure I really thought about this yet, or if we even implement it yet. But I will think about how we can teach that to people and as a skill. Because one of the issues that I see a lot, for example, with people working in big four consulting companies, but also with GlobalMobility managers and also HR professionals, they're very often very problem focused. It's like, we can't do this because, there is this regulation and that regulation. I mean, we're trained to be worried about compliance, etc. But I think, the really good ones, they come up with solutions to highly complex problems that AI can't solve yet.
No. And you have maybe a network of experts. I mean, there's a lot of service providers, employee of record companies, advisors in the market. Maybe you build up a relationship with these and talk to them, because this challenge that you have on your table, I would say, someone else had before you, and there was a solution to that. So find someone that has the experience and learn from that. So you need to also here build a network, build your allies, build up a system, systemic. We're back to the beginning.
All about the system.
Systemic approach in finding solutions and asking the right people.
I think we solved all the world problems right now. It's all about networking, the system, and relationships.
Yes.
Fantastic. Now I have to ask a final question. Sorry, I already kept you so long, but this has been really good. Do you have anything coming up, like a launch or an event or something, you would like to invite my listeners to?
Yeah, we have we have a lot of online events
Yeah.
for people, no matter where they sit, usually during lunchtime or right before lunchtime. And they're all on our website, so www.edl-consulting.com, and they're on the media center with all the events, and you can just register, and it's a Zoom online event. Everything around HR. So we have a lot of HR software that we are trying to compare, HR challenges we are trying to solve with other experts in the market. So come up and register there, or register for our newsletter, and you will get the invitations automatically, and it's easier for you to keep the good overview. Also on LinkedIn, we're posting these events, so you can also find me on LinkedIn, and we can share the insights there. We do have some on-site events, but they are irregularly, and they will also be promoted through the newsletter. So I wouldn't promote them here now.
But you can always email them to me, and then I can put it on my newsletter as well.
Perfect. Yeah,
if you have like a bigger thing coming up, or something that you would find particularly relevant because it's in English for international talents, interesting as well, has a lot of networking opportunity. Feel free to.
All our online events are English, so that's
awesome. Perfect. So it was great talking to you. I look forward to meeting you again somewhere, some event, for coffee or lunch. And thanks for taking the time today, Alex. It's been amazing.
Thank you, Andy. It was a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Bye.